Don People's Deadbolt. Let's talk about it. So I want to go back into hip hop history, man, and I want to highlight a particular figure. A lot of y'all might not know. I mean, we got a lot of new schoolers out here who really ain't hip to the game, but a lot of us who came up in the '90s, especially as teenagers, being influenced by hip hop. It was this one particular lady named C. Deloris Tucker. Now, she was obviously into politics, you know what I'm saying, and was very adamant in getting gangster rap took off the shelves and not promoted by the mainstream and, all that type of stuff. And as she made this crusade around the country, speaking against gangster rap and everything it stood for, obviously demonizing the black man and obviously turning us all into thugs and gangsters and also bringing down the women. It was one particular rapper, man, that she was head on trying to get out the way, and that was Tupac Shakur. Obviously, her and Tupac didn't see eye to eye on a lot of shit. She really was coming at Pac about, what he was preaching. At the time, we had NWA and all, a couple other gangster rap, Ice-T and all this shit, but Tupac is the one that the youth followed at the time. I mean, thug life, everything that Pac stood for, that's what, what I'm saying, we was all on. You know what I'm saying? And I think early on she knew that. And I think, she was trying to protect us from the evils of what was to come from hip hop. So, she was campaigning to get Pac out of here. Obviously, she didn't mess with Pac. A lot of things that Pac was bringing into the mainstream was bringing the value of the culture down. With rap really just starting to take a stranglehold on the youth at the time, I think it was important for her to step in. We was young, so obviously we like, bitch, whatever, sit down, get out the way. But, it was very important for her looking back to step in at that time because, we were a lost tribe. We didn't have any leaders, going back to the days of like Fred Hampton's and, what he stood for, a young up and coming black man who was preaching unity, preaching strength, preaching prosperity, and, getting from underneath the white man's grasp. And, he was killed, by police officers. And, the FBI and everything, was set up by one of our own who obviously infiltrated it, I mean, The Black Messiah is obviously a movie I would suggest anybody check out who's not familiar with the story. Then, we had people like Malcolm X, coming up, before our generation, obviously, too, who stood on something, stood on morals, but also talked about the Negro that was coming up at the time, that they were paid off, controlled by, the white liberals and, stuff of that nature. And he was killed, assassinated. So, we are people who do not have leadership. Everybody who we have who are so-called leaders are in bed with the white people, or not even that, just the system in general. But a lot of people they don't talk about J. Edgar Hoover, like what he said and, some of the things that he's done throughout our history. He's definitely had a hand in destroying our culture, and planting drugs, planting guns into the community. Also, obviously getting informants in these camps and in these organizations. He famously quoted at one time, though, that there will never be another Black Messiah unless we create him. And, I think this is very important. A lot of this stuff gets swept under the rug and we don't hold it no relevance. But this is the head of the FBI at the time telling you that you're not going to never have another Martin Luther King or Malcolm X or Fred Hampton. None of these type of people. No Marcus Garveys. None of that. unless we create them. So fast forward as we get into the 80s and 90s and we usher in this new thing called hip hop, who at the time didn't have the momentum obviously that it had now, but going into the 90s when Tupac was put on the scene, let's revisit, how Tupac, arrived, coming from Afena Shakur, who at one point in time, was locked up, incarcerated, pregnant with Tupac, facing hundreds and hundreds of years for, terrorist threats, planting bombs, all type of stuff, right? Nobody never talks about what she did to get out of that situation. And I strongly believe that she sold Tupac out. And Tupac has, been a government plant, and he was put in place to usher in this new form of hip hop. Because hip hop, man, was positive when it first came out, man. It had its dance side, it had its party side, it had a little bit of a dark side, but for the most part, man, it was positive and it brought people together and it focused on social issues, and that's what Pac was on at first. But, drastically changing and morphing into the thug life and preaching this street culture, it just makes you wonder, like, damn, was Pac, sold out by his mom, to get out of, prison. Like I said, she was facing hundreds of years. Like, she had to cut some type of deal. And, Pac going to, the School of Arts in Baltimore, kind of being groomed, as an actor. And, hip hop is a form of acting because you have to be a poet, obviously, and you have to, be able to act and put on a character, somebody outside of yourself. And Pac did that very well. And what he brought in was that spirit. Like, everybody wanted to be Pac at the time. Like, just with that rebellious spirit alone. The other rappers really wasn't able to bring that and cultivate that. Nobody was trying to be an Eazy-E. Nobody was trying to be a Dr. Dre. We wasn't skinny, so we couldn't be Snoop. But everybody wanted to be Pac. And what Pac embodied. So that spirit at the time, this was a spirit that really was never introduced to us. Now, mind you, rock and roll been had that spirit of rebellion and anarchy and by any means, just that raw spirit, Hip hop didn't have that at the time until Pac came. And Pac focused everything on the streets. He focused it on that life, being a thug. That's what it was all about. It wasn't about nothing else. And, I hate that, he's not around to kind of correct his wrongs, but it just makes you think like, yo, like this thing being all orchestrated, from the very start, Pac being put in place to usher in this new culture, this new form of rap. And, to put the face on it. At the time, nobody was saying thug and all that stuff. He coined that. And, I just think that what Deloris Tucker was trying to do, and even though at the time, it's like a First Amendment thing. You can't stop us from saying what we want to say. But seeing that the influence that these people had and, being in politics, knowing the agenda of what they were pushing, you know what I'm saying? I really think she was trying to stop it at all costs, but was really getting ridiculed and really getting put in the dirt because of it. And I think Pac really just embodied a different type of spirit. And that spirit, once it came in, it ushered in a whole type of different spirit. Now, you fast forward, you going into the future of hip hop, you seeing all these different things, and you wonder where they came from. This was the root of it. The tattoos, what I'm saying? The I don't give a F attitude, smoking, drinking, but even through it all, Pac had his, he was in tuned. You know what I'm saying? He still gave us a message from time to time, even when he went totally thugged out. He wasn't all the way to the left. Obviously, he still had a soul. He knew what he was doing, and he knew what he signed up for. He had to get his mother out that situation. He was birthed into it. But once explained what the situation was, because he was fully aware, he had to go along with certain things. But once he started rebelling against it, then that's what got him, put off the scene. It's still a mystery to this day if he's officially dead or not, but his character was killed off. But, Pac was put in place to usher in the spirit of rebellion. And that's really what his job was, to come in at first as a person of peace, as a person for the people. But ultimately, once he got you in and you bought into his character, he brought you into something else. And pretty much all the youth, man, we was all, turned from there. Pac is the one who, influenced the whole imagery of what a thug was. Wearing the pants down, tattoos in obvious places, got the thug life all across your belly. This is what, C. Deloris Tucker knew, that, if the youth gravitate to this, 15 years from now, 20 years from now, it's going to be over. And Pac knew that. And I think Pac struggled with that. He struggled with what he brought into the game because he knew the influence that he had. And he knew the influence of music and what the Devils was obviously trying to do. So I think he fought with this. This wasn't something easy for him to do, but he had to carry out the mission. And the mission was to completely sell out the youth. And us being the youth at that time are the fathers to the babies drilling now and the demons now. But all of that came from that era. Gangster rap really as a whole, because Pac influenced a lot of other rappers. And that message then verbiated all across the world. And, I think banning gangster rap, while at the time would have been crazy, right? Like, nah, you can't take rap from us. This is what we got. Would have been the best thing for us to had happen. For gangster rap to have been pulled right off the shelves, or for it to have been censored. Because what it unleashed was a spell on us. A spell of rebellion. And then that spell of rebellion went to a spell of Satanism and demonic possession and symbolism and all the things that we're feeding into now. I mean, as you see, man, these celebrities, man, have totally sold us out. Totally working for the cabal and totally trying to keep us in the dark. And, we got to start peeping the signs and kind of understanding what we seeing. These people are putting it right in your face now. Now that spirit of rebellion has came all over the masses. You know what I'm saying? And now it's in your face. So these are things that we really got to keep in mind. For it to go from a Tupac now, moving forward to a Jay-Z and what he brought to the game. You know, I mean, life starts when the church ends. It's a real situation. And I think a lot of people don't understand that part. You know what I'm saying? They really don't see like where hip hop has took them. It's took them down a dark road. It's took them into a place to where you really don't know what's right and what's wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like you see your favorite entertainers and you think everything is just pure in music, but it's really, uh, you know, it's hell right in front of your face. It's not. It's not a situation that you can look at and say like, man, is this of God? Is this something that I want my kids listening to? You know what I mean? Like, and this is where the thug life has now took us to. It walked us down steps to this. It took us from one point to the next point, and now it's a situation to where it's totally out of control. And now this stuff is being just blatantly put in your face. You know, um, Lil Wayne being another powerful figure, obviously, a baby of Tupac, right? Not literally, obviously, but like was birthed from that rebellious spirit. And then he took it, put his sauce on it, took it to another level, and then finish, kind of turning the generation out and getting them to embrace, tatting their whole body, their face, and, gang banging, just the whole nine. And also keeping that satanic imagery going. You know what I'm saying? I mean, when your favorite rapper, when you see him and this is what you see, you want to emulate what you listen to, or what is something that you love, right? But that thing that you love doesn't love you, and it's trying to take you to a place where you can't never come back from. And that's where music in general has taken us since those days. Late 80s, early 90s, coming up into now, you see the transition. Things that we didn't accept at first, or things that we thought. Like, I remember, like I said, when Pac got the Thug Life tatted on his stomach, like, that was like a big thing. Like, wow, like, tattoo on your stomach, or when you got a tat on your neck. Now you got, niggas got tats everywhere. There's no place that's off limits. And this is the culture that is birthed. This is what we got now. These are the seeds from which Deloris Tucker was trying to protect us from. Because all these are babies that came out of that generation of fathers that were following Tupac and following all the other gangster rappers at the time. It's crazy how something so beautiful like poetry or spoken word can be, flipped and turned, so demonic to where you can't really escape it, Not in your video games, not in your movies, not in your reality, not in your music. These are things that you see constantly, and this is what they branded us as by design. To make us thugs, to make us pimps, to make us gangsters, now to make us savages and demons. What I mean? It's just, it's real crazy where this hip hop thing then took us, and now it's affecting our women, the mothers of our children, our queens are being slaughtered and, being led to the fire and following, these type of artists. This is what they're seeing now and what they feel is acceptable and what men want. Because they know the powers that be. They know that the imagery is what sells. Putting this type of stuff in front of you, giving her a bag, making her lit. You feel like, if I ain't doing it like this, I can't be lit. Like, yeah, if I ain't got some wet, or if I ain't, if I ain't got no mop that for some wet ass, it's crazy. Like when you see it, like, what you want your daughter coming up like this, and I know it sounds so hypocritical, right? Because us as men, we deal with whores, right? Like, let's just keep it a bean, like we do. I mean, a lot of us do, and I just think really it's just gotten out of hand. It's been weaponized, and it all stems from that thug culture, right? That calling you, a bitch and a hoe and a slut for over 25, 30 years. The same thing that, like I said, Deloris Tucker was trying to protect women from. Being called these things, being downgraded and put into the gutter to where they're just nothing but ass and titties, like Juicy would say. And now every woman, you look now, it's 2021, about to be 2022. You got every woman twerking. And now it went down to the babies. You even got babies that's showing off their gaps and they little toots and stuff like that. Because this is what they see the mamas doing. You know what I mean? And this is what they see on the TikToks and the IGs. We not even protecting our babies no more. We done let hip hop all the way in. You know what I'm saying? We done invited it into our home. We done gave it a plate at the dinner table. And now we it's feasting on everything, on every morality that we've ever had. Like anything we've ever stood for has been eradicated because of hip hop. I mean, I would never thought I would have seen the day that, we would have a rapper come out with a dress. And I can just remember the reaction when Thug dropped. You see how this thing moves in stages? First, it gave you the rebellious spirit with Tupac. Then it gave you the on to the next one, satanic with Jay-Z. And then once it opens you up and put the devil in your life, then it introduced you to the Baphomet, the as above, so below. Now, everything's flipped up. You got niggas wearing dresses, niggas wearing purses, and being respected for being real niggas. You know what I mean? And it ain't no disrespect to Thug. He is a real nigga. And what's so crazy about it is that's how it was all like an agenda. We needed you to do this. You want to get in the game. You want to get in our industry. You do this, we'll give you this. So it took a real street nigga to come in wearing a dress, to where, oh, you talking about me wearing a dress, I'll really come step on you. So once niggas knew that he was a street nigga and they couldn't step on him, in the street, at that point, it made it acceptable. And then once the dress started going away, then you just started having dudes wearing bags and skirts and, just all this stuff. And it's like, where did it come from? Like all through the music, like the streets not dictating that. See, back in the day, the streets influenced hip hop. Now, hip hop influences the streets. And, when you see these dudes wearing all this stuff, it just makes me go back and think about, Tupac and really what he brought into the game. And it's a situation now to where we have to look back and say, is this his legacy? Because we all, especially in hip hop, are descendants of him. So when we look back on hip hop, we have to look at C. Deloris Tucker as a pioneer, as somebody who fought for what was real and really was trying to protect us from the evils that came with hip hop. The spirit of rebellion. You know, she was a visionary. She knew that this would end up happening. And, you know, in 2005, you know, when she passed away, you know, you fast forward now 16 years later from there. I mean, I know she's probably turning in her grave looking at the women, you know, the queens that she's fought for and was trying to protect. And I know it hurts that she wasn't able to protect them. You know, and I hate that, you know, our generation was like the test dummies for all this fuckery and all this demonic shit that's going on. And, you know, and I hate that we birthed the children that are now taking it to a level that, like, I never thought, man, the niggas would call themselves demons and ghouls and goblins. And, like, really, the spirit of rebellion is so real. So I just really wanted to give a shout out to C. Deloris Tucker. You know, I just really thought about it and was like, yo, like, she really doesn't get talked about for really what she was trying to do. You know, in hindsight, you look at it, yeah, you know, like I said, when we was kids, we was going against her. We didn't like her because of what she was trying to do, but God bless her soul, she really was trying to protect us from the evils. But y'all get in the comment box, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Do y'all think C. Deloris Tucker was somebody that we should now celebrate for what she actually tried to do and what she stood for? Or do you guys still feel the same? Especially my OGs, man, who are around at that time, about how she, you know, was getting down, and you can't condone it. But I really want to hear what people think about this, man. Y'all get in the comment box, y'all like, subscribe, hit the notification tab, man, so y'all can tap in every time I drop a video. It's your boy Don Peoples, Deadbolt, gone.